Hey guys, I'm just coming through for just a random live stream. There's a lot of stuff that's going on around on Black YouTube. Don't really want to get too deep into it, but yeah, there's a lot of fuckery that's going on Black YouTube. I'm not used to it actually. But lately, all I've been doing is simming. The depression is setting in again. I guess it's that seasonal shit. But anyway, I thought I'll just go live on this channel because sooner or later I'm gonna have to start bringing more traffic over to this side anyway. So I be talking to myself anyway, so I might as well talk to myself. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on YouTube. It's quite disheartening. Something that I never expected. I'm not used to this type of fuckery. I hope my audio is good, but yeah, the seasonal depression, it really be kicking in around this time of year for me. So I definitely need to start keeping myself preoccupied out in these streets because, ooh, child. But it's late as fuck. I don't even know why I came live, but mainly I wanted to go live because I do need to bring some more traffic over to this channel. And then I do live streams over here. Hopefully one day I'll show like a little bit of my simming because I'll probably do that on this channel or my Gyal gaming. But just more like previews and extremely like late night ones because I'm going through an insomniac phase right now. But yeah, it's funny. There was this talk going around that YouTube is not supposed to help you and shit. But I think that this is a good venting mechanism to use. Sorry if I'm pausing every now and then. My cat, she's playing around, distracting me. But there's a few things that I would like to talk about on this channel for sure. So I will be most likely just leaving this live stream up for you guys as a reference, for the topics that we'll be talking about on this channel. So I've been writing some stuff down. This is the Virgo in me. And let me see. I'm listening to I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm listening to Thundercat Show You the Way featuring Michael McDonald. And I think it's, I can't remember the other guy's name. It's a really good song, so. But yeah, I've been writing some stuff down on some of the things that I will be probably talking about more on this particular channel. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I have so many notebooks. I'm a writer, so I have all these notebooks all over the place. And yeah, but so I was thinking about on this particular channel doing more little comedy skits. I started a little TikTok. I'm kind of shy, so it's just something that I'm trying to break free from. I've been in this severe social isolation, and it's more than it's longer than Corona's been around. So, but it's been really bad, and yeah, YouTube has been an outlet for me so far. So I'm just gonna basically creative vomit all over. Hopefully, something will catch. But I wanted to make this channel more geared toward Black females, especially nerdy Black women who just they don't feel a part of anything. Like I was always a social outcast, and I embrace it now as an adult. But as a kid, I struggled with it. But as an adult, I realized that it's easier to just keep to yourself. Hi, Apple, California. And so, this is my first live, by the way. So I'm just running down some topics of what I wanted to put on this channel. So if this is something that you're interested in, like, by all means, like, I have another channel as well. It has like 700 subscribers, but I'm trying to do something different with this particular channel. And I guess be more myself and less restricted by just like the pressures of the world, I guess. The pressures of the world, it really demands a lot from Black women. It's exhausting. And I'm kind of tired of that shit. And I guess the social isolation, pre and post COVID has really, man, it's opened my eyes to who I really am and what I really could achieve. And the depression is really setting in like hardcore to the point where it's crippling. And I don't know, I don't think there's any mantra that I can think of that could keep me grounded, grounded enough to want me to push forward. Indeed, it's very crippling. But hopefully with this channel, I'll bring something positive. I want to be a more positive force. There's been so much negativity and fuckery going on YouTube that it's just like you get easily sucked in and consumed in that shit, and it's just like that is not who I am. That's not what I want on my channels, either of my channels. I've heard the calling as a child. I never quite understood what the calling was. And for years, the ancestors called me. And I never quite, to a certain degree, even nowadays, I still don't know what they want from me. But the last few months, I've been really just meditating on this, just creating this space for young Black women who they feel socially, they're social outcasts, but they're okay with it. And sometimes, I don't have any children and I don't have a man. And, people make fun of you when you're a Black woman and you live alone and you have a cat and stuff. And they don't understand what it is to be so socially awkward in personality and then socially isolated. That's crippling. It's like, and then considering that I've already been doing this since 2000, I would say 16. I've been just withdrawing myself from people, not going to clubs, not doing anything outside of my home. And now that, social distancing is going on and Corona is going on, it has taken my social isolation to the total max, to the point where there are days where, with the hours being cut from work and me spending more time alone, those times alone, I'm spending that in silence. And there are days where I don't speak. And when I go to work, I feel awkward when I speak. Because not speaking to anyone, because when you're going to the store and you're buying food, you don't have to talk to anybody. I go to the self-checkout line. That's how, like, I'm not socially isolated and awkward enough to want to do online food shopping, because that's crazy to me. But what I do is I'll go in there and I will, I would have my headphones in and I would not look at anyone, and I would just shop with like purposeful intent to the point where it's now that I look at it now, it's like, wow, I'm a zombie. But I'm okay with it. It's really scary out here for a single Black female. It really is. And considering that I grew up very sheltered, I consider myself quite naive, even though I'm 29. But I am, not because, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm naive and sheltered because I have this unrealistic expectations of people, and I I guess I give people too many chances, and those chances, they never seem to work in my favor. And it's like I question myself on whether, damn, do I need to be an asshole or a bitch for me to get what I want in life? And it feels unfair because, ow, Mika, no, my cat scratched me. No, baby, that's not nice. Ow. But girl, stop. That hurts. But it's man, it's really crippling. And I don't remember what I was saying. Mika really was scratching the fuck out of me with that one. Oh, you're a little older? Yeah, it's just it feels like I was saying that my shelter, I grew up very sheltered and in a very religious household. So, you know, this type of fuckery that I'm seeing online, it's I don't know if this is just for show or this is how niggas really are. And I'm just like, I'm all about my community. I love my people. Like, there's this, when you have knowledge of self and you start to accumulate knowledge and you put that knowledge to practice and you apply it in your everyday life, you'll be so surprised with how you see yourself. There was a time where I didn't know myself at all. And I see myself now, a woman of 29, and who I was at 19, I am not the same person. And it was a gradual change that came with experience. And I decided to take this journey and embark on this journey. And anytime that I felt any kind of bitterness or resentment, I had to stop and reevaluate myself, because I didn't want to grow in this new knowledge out of anger and resistance to my upbringing. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to challenge those ideologies and those rhetorics and be unbiased with it, to the point where it was just like I would just do social experiments every I can there was a time where I just did social experiments every day. I always had a theory or a hypothesis of what would happen, simply just using basic observation skills. And I'm pretty observant, I guess, because I'm a Virgo and I'm very quiet, so I tend to watch before I engage. And I haven't been wrong since. And hopefully, on this channel, I'll talk about some of those very challenging social experiments that I had to do on myself just for me to get to this level. Because understanding what I understand now, I can say that I'm telling you that applied knowledge, converting that shit into wisdom, that shit is real. And That's why a lot of people would tell me, you're wise beyond your years. And I said, yeah, because when I read something, I apply it immediately. Like, I've noticed that like people will go to college and you'll take certain classes, and once you pass it, you don't care. And there are just certain classes that have stuck with me for life, to the point where even though I self-study now, I can refer to back in the time when I was in school and said, okay, yeah, I remember reading this in a book and taking note of this. And, and really applying that shit. And so when I came into this space, because I wanted to know more about my people. What, like, I keep seeing the propagandas and all that kind of stuff, and I never quite understood what was the fucking issue. And I guess because I was so sheltered and the environments that I was in was extremely controlled, my ideology and perceptions of people, I, I was really, I was really fed a lie my entire life. Like ideologies, religion, socialization with Black people, all of that shit was a lie. And so these last couple years, relearning and understanding, because there's a difference between reading things in a book and then also seeing it in real life. You can read it in the book and you can understand. I understand. I'm an empath, so I can understand wholeheartedly. But at the same time, if I don't actually see it in reality, I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to it. So the fuckery that I keep reading about and people keep telling me, I'm seeing it on YouTube. It's weird. And some of the bullshit rhetorics that a lot of the people have on here, this hateful, disdainful rhetoric that they have on here, it has spilled into my personal life. And I think that's why I'm becoming more vocal. There's, I wanted to do a story time since it's late on like my ex being an incel fuckboy and how I fell madly in love with this man. And, they tell you all this, the frequencies, whatever you are, you're dishing that out. And I'm just like, I don't consider myself an incel. But then again, there was a time where I wasn't really, engaging with men like that. And, the social isolation, it gives you extreme anxiety. And I have anxiety as well. But of course, I just put myself out there, and now they're going to probably use that as a, soundbite. But yeah, it's starting to become a problem because my last ex used to watch a lot of these MAGTOW red pill type dudes, and this is when I just started like really seeing what Black YouTube was like, because I was only following like one person. And I'm, again, social anxiety, my social isolation, just how I keep to myself. I um it just I was like, oh, well, I have to explore my options. And when I did, I was met with this type of shit. So for I would say the last year and a half that I've been really just exploring Black YouTube, I've been terrified. I'm mortified by this shit. And I guess it's the naive in me, the sheltered, innocent version of innocent me, because I come across as very like, whatever. People have different assumptions of me, but at the end of the day, like half of this shit I'm not used to seeing. So these are like genuine like shock. Like I'm not sure if you were there, Apple, California, but that situation on Jazzy G's channel with Lily Rose, that just that kind of like, and I actually wanted to do a live stream about that because I'm really, I love what Jazzy G is doing. I understand what a lot of people are saying about her. And I have seen some of her content from a year ago when she first came on. And I guess, when you see certain content, you completely forget, like, okay, well, when I see her content again, if I keep remembering if I'm going to subscribe to her or whatever, and you forget. So seeing her back, I'm glad to see that kind of content where she does talk about narcissism. And, lately I've been seeing more and more of the men that I interact with, they're narcissists. And it's not like I like narcissistic men. And it's like funny, that whole vibration shit, like you attract who you are. Like, nah, like I don't like narcissists. I don't like men like that. And, as an empath, of course I will not be attracted to narcissists, but I guess it's the nurturing in me that I guess that's what made me fail. But it that whole situation with that, it and it's just like, okay, well, if the men are going to be on here attacking us, and then now you have your own sister go against you the way you did, the way it transpired, it was just back to back fuckery. And that is not even just the only place that has it. That wasn't just the only, you have beefs in every single sector of YouTube, Black YouTube at this point, to the point where it's like nonsensical drama. Like, I never quite understood what the fuck was going on. Oh, wow, I used to try and understand where they were coming from, but now I'm like, fuck, I had to try to understand some of the women equally, but now I try to watch different. It's stressful. Like, I just watch, I'm a simmer. I love playing Sims. I watch a lot of Sims gameplay from Black Simmers, and that's it. That, and I'll watch a few guy gamers and stuff. I'll watch like hair stuff. Um, but I love, having those like discussions with the community and Black power stuff. But then you realize that you're around niggas, not Black people. You'll be around some Black people, but they're niggas in there, and there's no sense of decorum at all. And like, even there's times when I get caught up in the fuckery and I have to pull myself back. And I'm like, this is really not who I am. This is not the type of shit. Like, y'all dragging for hours on end and shit. And I'm just like, bro, that's not something I can do. Like, kudos to you for knowing how to drag somebody for 6-7 hours, my nigga. But damn, you know, I don't know. Maybe the first hour I'll be dragging you, and then after that, I'll be just trying to dissect your mentality the whole time. And it's like, there's no sense of correction, I guess, in the community. Everybody's just like on attack mode 24/7. There's no restraint at all. Now, I'm just saying, in my little pro rap bubble and my femininity level up, the drama free, family oriented ones, half of those motherfuckers are insane and crazy. Sometimes I'm a little fuckery. Yeah, I used to watch some of the femininity level up stuff. I have my own discernment. Some of them are valid points. There's just some things that I don't adhere to, but I watch it because I like information. So it's funny, like, people will chastise you for being in certain chats or listening to certain content, and they don't know who the fuck you are. But because they have a feeling, a certain preconceived notion about that person that you're watching, somehow they feel like, oh, you're just like, no, bro, no. I listen to it because I can appreciate a Black woman who can deliver content, period. And I'm the type of Black woman that I don't, that whole, I guess I don't think it's a phase. I think it's a growth like a personal growth phase where you realize that your ego will always get you in trouble. And, and there's always that experience that you have where your ego humbles the fuck out of you. And I've had those moments, and I told myself that I would never let my ego run me. And so, like, when it comes to envy and jealousy, I honestly can't really say that I'm envious or jealous of anyone. And, there were times where, even in relationships, it's not a matter of jealousy. I knew who I was. And I told the man that, like, I know who I am. I know exactly who I am. So if you can't see that, that ain't got nothing to do with me, love. That has everything to do with you. But I know who I am. And so if you feel like any need to be with some other woman because you want to shade me and pit me, like, bruh, I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm the finest bitch on the planet, but I know who I am. And it's not and sometimes I feel like we're living in a society where the outside matters more than the contents and the substance within. And, sometimes I feel like my parents halted my growth in socialization with people. But then at the same time, I feel like they've pressured me and pushed me and prodded me to work on my inner self so hard to the point where, I kind of neglected my outer appearance for a while. Not like, I started like looking unruly, but you know what I mean? Like, how like you're just like, you wash your face, but you don't have a set skincare routine. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just doing the bare minimum just to get by. And it was like every single day I worked on, I had a lying problem. I was always lying. And then I told myself, you know, for me, I always felt like the number 9 was symbolic because I've heard the ancestors call me when I was 9 years old. And it was when I was 19 is when I made decisions that forever changed my life. And here I am, I'm 29 years old. And I'm realizing that those last 2 decades have been, I feel like I went through a wave of experience that, it's a range of experiences that makes absolutely no sense. No sense at all. Like if I was to tell you my story, none of this shit will ever make sense. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is setting me up for something extremely great. And one of my issues is my fear of success, as well as my fear of failure. But I failed so many times, it's like I've grown numb to it. And that's how social isolation does to you as well. You have no one can see your accolades, none of that shit. So you're invisible. So I'm used to being invisible. So coming into this space, and I put up a picture like this, right? Or, let me see, like, even if I was to like put up a picture like this, motherfuckers go crazy, but I don't see what the fuck these motherfuckers are seeing. Now, I'm not saying I'm ugly or anything, but it's just like I'm so used to being isolated and so used to being alone. So used to people, like I literally walked my entire life invisible, especially these last 4 years. I've been extremely invisible. And, it's just like coming on here, I realized that, there is a message that I want to bring out there. And, on this channel, I'm going to be a little bit more lighthearted. I'm a little bit more serious on my other channel, my Ajia Gahzalia channel. That's my main one. But this one here, this is more of my lighthearted content where, again, I was talking about my topics. I don't know why I veered off, but, I have that habit. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see your comments. You speak in all facts. We know each other from peaceful under this era. I'm peaceful. Be patient. I'm sorry, my glasses is dirty too, so I'm trying to like I need to get contacts, bro. I think I have them. I just can't remember where I found them. I can't remember where I left them. I'm listening. Yeah, I believe in the ancestors and spirits, man. Deeply, deeply. You know, I have an altar, you know, with some stuff on there. So hopefully I'll talk about that more. I don't really get into that on my first live now. But let me change this picture now because, you know, I don't want people like, but yeah, I don't know, like, keep picture. But yeah, some of the topics that I wanted to talk about was, you know, basically my social isolation story because there's more to it. It's more than just, okay, well, yeah, you just isolate yourself. No, it's a process, and your mentality changes, how you perceive the world, how you perceive yourself, all of that changes. And then, you know, coming out of that isolation and being vocal about it, it's been a journey. So that's something I wanted to talk about. But you know, I'm also a writer, so in that time of isolation, you would think that, okay, I'm isolated. This is a perfect time for me to write. Wow, this is the perfect time for me to get depression instead. And so, you know, this social isolation has not only been very difficult, it's like it's crippling, because writing was my greatest passion. I could write for hours. There was a time where, you know, I was 11 years old and I finished my first book. It was like 237 pages. It was my first time writing it. And I felt so proud. And, you know, I think since then, I've written maybe two more, a couple short stories. And, you know, as I look back on it now, I realize I've done a lot of writing. And I wish that this type of platform was around when I was younger. So I can really, when I was in that creative juices, when I was drowning in it. And it was the greatest drown. Like I would drown in that sea forever. And I miss it. Oh no, they know who I am, girl. You know, I bring the traffic over here. I just tell them that over here on all that extra, you know, that extreme pro black stuff that I'm really pushing on my, not extreme, but you know, the purpose of that channel is gonna be over there. Over here, I'm gonna try to be as calm as possible. But you know, writing, I felt so proud of writing those books, man. And you know, to go into that, I had this moment, and I'll get into it. I'll do a live stream dedicated to that. But I had a moment, and then, you know, it I sank into this abyss, this void, and man, I've been slowly crawling out of that void, and because it's not like I was drowning. You know, you feel the pressure. Oh, it's the pressure of writing, and you have so much ideas, and everything is just there, and you're just writing. You're getting carpal tunnel, so you just, you know, flexing your hand and like, okay, fuck it, let me type. And that's how like obsessed I was. You know, there was a time I was writing maybe like 30, 40 pages a day, front and back type shit. And I can tell you right now that I haven't written like in any of my storylines, because I've actually been, there's a difference between drafting and writing the actual story. And I've been drafting, and drafting is tedious. And you know, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to be in this depression, I would rather perfect this script and the character, building the character and world building. And once I climb out of this void, man, shit, I'll have something there and I can get them creative juices flowing. I can start writing again. So I'm just trying to. I'm doing like, you know how like I would rather do the bare minimum than nothing. This may sound corny, but Beyonce uses computer as a diary about herself and music things. She said it's psychotherapy. I thought about that. I have thought about that. I wanted to get because I have my I have Microsoft on I have Microsoft on my laptop, but not on this computer. But hold on, let me see something. But oh, so you like The Sims? Yay! I listen, when I tell you that I'm obsessed with The Sims, I'm obsessed with The Sims. I'm at that point in my life where I'm just like, if I could make a living off making Sims like gaming videos, I will fucking do it. Like, because I have so many gameplay ideas and so many like just I could like I have so many like oh my god, it's crazy because I fucking love The Sims. And like that's a few things that and I think YouTube is gonna help me really just get my creative juices flowing because I do want to talk about some aspects of my novels that I'm currently writing. And more than ever, like it's not a matter of ideas, it's just a matter of like just talking about it, discussing like world building and all that kind of stuff. And um now do you like which Sims do you have though? Because I have the Sims 3, but I have the Sims 4 though. I'm trying to get all of the games before I really start. Like I already have some kind of gameplays recorded, but I don't have anything. I don't have any audio, like any like talk, like voiceovers and stuff. But I do have a gaming channel, so I don't know if you've subscribed to my gaming channel. It's Gyal Gaming. But let me see if I can. Hold on one sec. Let me see. But yeah, I'm for this channel. I definitely want to get the traffic a little bit more over here, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I might do like little short clips of my simming on this particular channel, and then my like longer live streams on yeah. Let me see. Oh, girl, you got The Sims 3? No, you need to level up, girl. You need to get The Sims 4 immediately, expeditiously, sis. Like for real, because The Sims 4, like now, see, look, one thing. There's like a couple things that I don't like about The Sims 4 that is in The Sims 3 that I miss, and I don't think they'll ever put in The Sims 4. And that's the open world concept, which I think they have a couple mods where you can do it, but no. It's kind of like like in Sims 3, you can create your own lot. You just basically pick the lot size and you can place it anywhere on the map. Yeah, you can't do that. There's already preset lots in Sims 4, which pisses me off. It really does. But and I think you can only have a certain amount of people in the game. Whereas if you have an open world, of course you can, you know, let me see if I can go ahead and let me go ahead and find this taggery. Whoopsies. But I'm sorry, I'm just I'm trying to click and click and click. All right, let me see. All right, here we go. So I don't even know if that's a viable link, but it's Woke Gyal Gaming. And yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of this game before. It's called Stellaris. Oh, you said what? Put your YouTube link on the other page and ask your friends or places you might. Okay, to see if they promote it and ask them. You can drop the link. Oh yeah, of course. Yes. Yeah, there's a game called Stellaris. Now, this game is it's like an intense game, but the gameplay that I have for it is super like it's great. Now, it's a world building space simulation game, okay? So basically, you're starting off in a galaxy. You already conquered the Earth. So you're just expanding in a galaxy. So you're just conquering different stars. You're creating like bases where they're what are they doing? They're I would love to like I wish I could I want to screen share, but I don't really know how to really do that. So I'm just gonna not fuck around and do that right now. But you basically create your own worlds and stuff, and you create your own space in the universe. Now, the gameplay of how I want it done is it my gaming, of course, is going to be geared more towards pro black, and like we have a lot of these issues, right? So I'm finding these issues, putting in the game, and then finding ways to solve the issue, right? In real time, in gameplay format. I feel like we talk about it, we use our experiences and all that kind of stuff, and we live in our own heads, and we don't necessarily like seek the solution. We can dissect the problem down to a fucking atom, but we can't seem to. Anytime when we suggest a solution, someone has to say, "Oh, you're dismissing me." No, we're not dismissing you. The solution means that you have to take accountability, whether it's your fault or not, and push forward. And I have a few gameplays, one of which like I'm actually playing this game right now. Like not right now, but shit, I wish I could. I actually probably could function a little bit better, but I wanted to make sure I see your comment, sis. And and to be honest, I want to do longer live streams on this channel than on my other channel, because me going on long rants about pro blackness will just get me tired, especially talking with these niggas on here. But Um, I have one gameplay where the guy I'm not sure if you know about these challenges, but the legacy challenge. But I tweaked it a little bit because in The Sims 4 you can tweak it. In Sims 3 is pretty girl, you know how we can play in Sims 3. But in Sims 4, I tweaked the game to where I'm not sure if you can hear the raining, but it's raining outside. But I tweaked the game to where you can play. I got the guy, I put him on a nice lot, and I just took away all of his money. And the gameplay is that he's an ex-con, and his mom lived on that lot, but they bulldozed the house down. So he only had the amount of money that he can take the lot. And so he had no money. So he had to build from there. And because he's an ex-con, he can't get any job. So I made him self-employed, and he had to work for himself. And it was very interesting, like how I play the game, because I tweak. There's mods and stuff, and the mod that I have, you can so beautiful and yeah, yes, it's true though. Now, real talk, yo, Sim be going in, bro. I be sitting there in awe because the way she says it, it's like I understand her tone. I understand the inflection that, in which she's speaking, because it just, you can't coddle people. If you really demand change in people, you cannot coddle people. And I get that because I was never coddled. Like, my father was very stern. He constantly made sure that I checked myself at all times. So I kind of got like that type of mentality. So, when she comes at them, I understand why them dudes get mad, because they're not used to being held accountable. And that's nobody's fault but their parents, whether it's their mom or their father, it don't matter. They be mad that I'm pro-black. They be mad as fuck. Like, I like, at the same time, like, I love black men, but I can say that I'm disappointed. I'm entitled to say that I'm disappointed. I don't hate you. Just like, if they say that they're disappointed in black women, I get it. I get where they're coming from as an empath. I get I understand what they're saying. But it's like, we can't coddle you. I sure as hell wasn't. So I feel like dudes feel like you're so masculine. No, I was raised by a man who believed in taking accountability, whether or not you did it or not, because you just got to move forward. You have to move forward. So accountability needs to be held. So it's like, I'm used to like saying, okay, well, yeah, damn, that was my fault. And ain't got nothing about being bougie, because motherfuckers will swear to God that if a woman says, "Oh, I'm sorry," that she's faking it. Like, nah, bro. Like, bruh. Like, my mom was like, if you fuck up, you need to say you're sorry. Like, and I never quite understood like why I had to forcefully say that, or I had to say it with the intention of goodness, until later when I realized that the power of the tongue is real. And I think that's why I also went in my social isolation. There were some things that I've said, and it's manifested in my life so much so to the point where I was afraid to speak, because I was like, shit, if I'm learning about all this information, and that me as a black woman, I'm considered the mitochondrial Eve, and I can do this, and I can manifest and all this kind of shit. And I start saying some weird shit, and the same shit that I was saying was coming into fruition. I was too afraid. And to a point where, like, even now, if I there's a certain lingering of there's a linger of doubt in my mind when I try to speak positivity for myself. And it's like, I don't want that. I want to be 100% sure. Right. I truly tell the men this because half of them ain't loyal. How we it's a fact. But again, it's so there is a war that between black men and black women that should not be fucking happening. And like, if you read history and you see the patterns and you recognize the patterns, we're in a stage in that pattern where it's going to be disastrous. And that's why I felt like I needed to say something. Now, I'm not going to say I'm no prophet or whatever, because I'm not. But what I can say is that sometimes being silent, it's complacent for the worst to come. The swirling women is just as motherfucking bad. I tried to build that bridge of sisterhood with them, but they're going around lying on pro blacks and hitting pages, generalizing us and calling us man. Now I'm like, fuck them all. It ain't the ones who's nah, real talk. No, real talk. Like, I go in on them on my Twitter. I go in on them. I go in on swirlings, both swirling black men and swirling black women, period. Because it's the mentality behind that. That's like, understand, like, I don't go after every swirling couple, because you can tell when you have a conversation with these people, because I like to converse with people about this. I don't like to just make wild assumptions and just go off that. I actually like to have a certain conversation. And if I ask a black man or a black woman why they're in that relationship with that person, and their response is not conducive to not even self-preservation, but self-preservation of your culture, because your genetics is gonna, your child is gonna come out fucked up. But not, fucked up, but you know what I mean. It's gonna be, it's not self-preservation of genetics, but you can preserve the culture in that mixed child. But it's like some of them is off of self-hate, and you can tell by, and the stereotypes be true, bro. It's very disheartening. Yeah, I have to check myself. I'm a little gender watch. I have to like withdraw myself, and I think that's why I created this particular channel, because I don't want to participate in shit. I don't. I'm a regular schmegler Black woman, and I just want, like, there's a lot of these women out here, right? And yeah, I be listening to the level up community, and they talking about, yes, get your hair, your nails, all that shit top notch, get yourself a rich man, make sure that I get that, I listen to it. Yes, sis. Oh, go ahead, sis, if that suits your lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? I don't be shunning. I try not to. I really try not to. But some of these swirling women, though, they take it too far. They really do take it too far, to the point where I'm just like, girl, what type of mindset do you have? And how are you going to raise your daughter? How are you going to raise your son to view other Black people? And it's just like, when I see a mixed person and their parents, like there are some mixed people who have like their mixed their interracial parent dynamic, and you can tell where there is an understanding on the white parent counterpart that their child is going to be mostly perceived as Black, whether or not we think genetic, whatever, all of that other shit. Because we can always talk about semantics, but I don't even know why I'm talking about this on this channel. But, like, it's a problem. And it's going to get out of control, and social media is spreading that fire like wildfire. I'm going to talk about this book mainly on my other channel, but I will be probably putting I want to do a book review of this book called Destruction of Black Civilization, and this whole interracial propaganda that's going on. It's always happened. This is not the first time. The only reason why now it seems so overt right now is because it's on social media. And social media is, it is fanning them flames, fam. And sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong era, but then again, I feel like probably in my past life, I saw the same shit. And that's why there's just certain things that's been happening to me in the last year and a half that it's not coincidental that these things are happening. And, I take numerology. I'm starting to learn more about numerology, and thankfully I'm, listening to, Jazzy G and stuff. She talks about that. And I'm starting to realize that whole age of Aquarius thing, that shit's real. So this transition of a new age, it's going to be overwhelming. And I don't think we're going to be ready for it. And I think sometimes you need to say something. Being quiet about it really doesn't help. Burying my ex from 8 to 10 years ago. I had a Black mom. He was balanced and loved natural Black women. He didn't like white women at all. Things to see sisters and mixed Black women that looked like. Yeah, I have noticed that a lot of mixed children from Black mothers tend to have more, they they tend to relate to blackness more so than having black fathers. I've seen it in my personal life that this is true. So, and I don't see that may be true. And it's funny because if anyone was to hear this and they'd be like, oh, see, she's saying that it's true. Oh, see, she's condoning swirling. No, I'm not. I don't condone swirling. But just from my observation, most times, especially if the black woman is not, she doesn't have, because people automatically assume that you'll have a coon mentality just because you're dating a white person. In a lot of cases, yes, but in some cases, no. And in those cases that no, there's times where the black father who has a child with a white woman and their child would end up marrying another black person. And that's because maybe the father did instill some type of black pride in the kid, right? So, it just happens sometimes. But here's the thing. I can't stop anybody from dating non-black people. But what I can do is I can educate that person on their own mindset, on why you would want to choose this person, knowing all the information about the history between. And it's like we only talk about the shit that happens in America. We don't talk about the shit that happens in I'm Jamaican. No one talks about what happens in Jamaica. And I think that's why I need to probably discuss that. Like we talk like, oh, only this racism shit only happens in America. Colorism is heavy in Jamaica. My mom got a lot of fucking hell for having me with a dark-skinned man. Because in Jamaica, they call men that look like my father blacker. But my dad's very handsome. So it's like, in blacker, in cute, but in blacker. So it's like, and that shit, that mentality, like the colorism shit, that's very deep-seated in Jamaica. Very deep-seated. So, this whole, I think there's a lot of confusion where we think that we do not have the same problems across the diaspora, but it happens. Colorism is real. I had to deal with that. Like y'all see my nose. People call me bell pepper nose. My mom used to pinch my nose to make it smaller, and my full lips and all. Like I have the African phenotype, full lips and a flat nose, and darker skin than my mom. My grandmother has freckles and slightly red hair, so it's like I'm viewed as the bridge between what my mom should have probably done is get a lighter skinned man, which is what my grandmother did, but she ended up having me with a dark skinned man. And even with that, she didn't even like instill any type of black pride. All of this black pride that I have now, I had to learn that on my own. This was not something that my parents ever instilled in me. Any sense of pride in even me being culturally Jamaican, besides the music. And then when you listen to the music and you figure out what the fuck they're talking about, you realize that, damn, there's extreme homophobia going on in Jamaica too. So it's like, the history is so deep-seated, right? What do you say? I do love black men and I never put my ex above. How about I agree with what you say? Yeah, like, yeah, like just you, yeah. See, I have no, here's my thing. I wouldn't mind dating a mixed man, but he would have to have the mentality of a pro-black man. Like, I'm not saying you got to hate your white parent, because I think that's what people seem to think that is confusing. I'm not asking you to hate your white parent, but what I would like for you to understand is that you live in a society where, although you have a white parent, you're viewed as black. They're going to treat you as black, and you should be proud of your blackness. Don't let them shade you because you're of your blackness, right? If you want to call yourself mixed, that is what you are. If you want to call yourself black, think there comes a mentality that needs to also kind of like, and they need to like come mesh together. They need to mesh well. If you're going to say that you are a Black person, you don't need to be extra Black like Malcolm X Black, but there needs to be some type of reverence for that aspect of yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking you to be hating on white people, because it kind of doesn't make any sense on your part for you to do so. If you want, if you do, okay. I mean, it is what it is, but I'm not asking for that. I personally, you know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. Very nice, Jamaica. I appreciate it. Most of our so me and her family when we visit the island, Jamaica here. See, like Jamaica, it's, there's, I actually, you know, I have this thing where anytime when people tell me that they're going to Jamaica, I try to give them pointers, because there is a culture difference, and then there's also a perception difference between Black Americans and Jamaicans, both positive and negative. So I tell a lot of, like, I have a couple coworkers who are lesbians and they're Black. And I tell them, like, Jamaicans, yes, they have a homophobic problem, but it's not, I could be wrong because I haven't been back in a while. But what I can say, especially with just how things are, I guess, going on right now, their issue mainly is two men, right? But if they know that you're American, they're not really gonna fuck with you, because they already know that y'all got the embassy on your side, and they're not gonna fuck with you like that. Now, if my ass was to go to Jamaica, because usually I can put on my Jamaican accent on will, because this is how I usually talk. But most often time, because I'm socialized to speak more Americanized, there's some words that come out like oats. It comes out like a Jamaican, but they're, because I'm in mostly like a professional setting. I'm forced to speak Americanized. But I go to Jamaica and I'm there for one day, and my accent immediately comes back, and it takes a while for my accent, especially if I'm there for 2 weeks. If I'm there for 2 weeks, it takes me about a month or so for me to get rid of like the full-on accent, and then another fucking month to get rid of the residual accent. It's a long thing. It's weird. But when you hear it every day and you're around family and stuff like that, you're just in your element, and it just flows. But yeah, I'm sorry, what were you saying? All facts and it's everywhere. Yeah, there's the colorism is an issue. I personally do not colorist men. I don't date colorist men. I actually want to talk about this on this particular live stream as well. Hold on one second. Let me see something. But yeah, let me see. One second. Child, tell me why I'm sending out a link to this live stream an hour in. Swear to God, bro. Something wrong with me. But even if I see, I'm not ADOS. I tell people all this all the time. I'm not ADOS. So, but I'm in full support of reparations for Black Americans. Period. Honestly, there needs to be no type of pushback when it comes to this type of conversation, especially if you're truly pro-Black. There should be no debate. There should be none whatsoever. If I say I'm not ADOS simply because although I was born here, both my parents were not born here. They were born in Jamaica. So of course my lineage is of West Indian descent. However, when it comes to the slavery and stuff like that, Jamaicans need to be asking Great Britain. Okay, if the Jamaicans are here, we need to be standing behind ADOS when it comes to getting reparations. There needs to be no type of argument with that. And I get really sick and tired when I hear West Indian people get angry about the whole, well, if we're going to support them, we need money too. Bitch, stay in your fucking lane. Like, it's really that simple. Like, I don't know why it seems, I guess because it's an ego thing. It's an ego. I keep forgetting that sense of ego that I used to have, I don't have it anymore. But then I realize that people still have it. And that's just something that takes years of conditioning yourself to learn to realize and accept reality and not have any emotions to it. Like, bruh, Black Americans, get your motherfucking check. If you gotta tax motherfuckers so you can get extra more money from them, because I'll be thinking to myself, shit, if you can do a reparations tax on your business and you know that person's white, man, you better tax some motherfucking asses. But I know you can't really do that. But that'll be interesting. Okay. I understand where some of the ADOS people are coming from, but I'm not from the blacks. Under attack. Yeah, that's facts. We're all under attack. And I think we have a hard time compartmentalizing certain ideals and certain like concepts. Like in this concept, yes, the entire Black diaspora is suffering under an umbrella, which is white supremacy, right? Cool. The Black people in Europe, and I lived in London, right? The Black people over there, they're not experiencing the same shit that's happening even in Jamaica. And people in Jamaica are not experiencing the same thing that's happening in America. But think about this. White supremacy planned it that way. They planned it that way. So we got to stop thinking that, all of it is the same and then the people is just fuck. No. You have to also, you got to get that, look, the British act completely different than the French. The French act completely different than the Spaniards. The Spaniards act completely different than the Belgians. So when we talk about like this whole global white supremacy, let's break it down by culture, because we always talk about the Black diaspora. What about the fucking white? I don't want to say white diaspora because it's not the white diaspora. But what about the white people? They have their particular mindset. We can't jumble them all up with the same mentality, just like we cannot jumble all of Black people with the same mentality. You got to get it. Look, the British dealt with places like Jamaica and just like Jamaica and America. So Black people in not just in those two places, but on the islands I was ran by the British as well, which I think was only just Jamaica. But few parts in other places, but it was mainly Jamaica. So when you think about it that way, you got to also understand why the Haitians acted the way they did. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Haitians were under the French, and the French were considered worse than the British. Now, the British are pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, but the French were considered worse than the British. So when you see how people evolve from that type of trauma, we all evolve differently. And then you also gotta incorporate also that white supremacy fed you propaganda against your own people. So, as I'm pretty sure my parents were force-fed that bullshit propaganda when they came into this country. The difference between them and these other West Indians, which I do see, I see them. Oh yeah, they fucking problematic. But at the same time, like, I don't, my mom came into this country when she was younger than my father. So, and I was raised under her for the first part of my 15 years. So, getting an understanding of how I see Black Americans through her eyes is basically what set me up. Like, I saw myself as one of y'all, but with a different cultural background. We're still Black. I still understand and I had respect and reverence for Black American history and the accomplishments that was done in this country. So it was more than, and then, but also, like, even though my parents really never got into the whole slavery part of Jamaican history, but they're just the concept of the culture behind it. And I know it makes no sense for you to teach the culture without the slavery part, but trust me, when both your parents are extremely religious and they believe that you are free through Christ's blood and shit, trust me, they can completely omit the slavery part. I had to learn that on my own. I get sick of Dominicans, the ones that's Black, like Sammy Sosa saying that. Listen, I'm from New York, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't have any Dominican friends because I had a few Dominican people who were darker than me look me in my face and call me a whole N word with a GR, with an ER, like, bitch, you not darker than me? Like, your hair is not as kinky like mine? Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't have a lot of Dominican friends because of that mentality. So I usually pick people off of your mentality and not how you look. So I'm very selective with my friends. All facts. And now it's cool to be Black again. Now, Meghan Markle is not a Black woman to me, period. And it has nothing to do with phenotype. I think it has everything to also consider her mother. Consider her mother, right? Her mother is, her mother is considered, she looked like she's not necessarily mixed, but she does look like she already got some admixture going on in her, and then adding the white, that just can't. Even her natural hair, yeah, I don't know, but our Pickney is definitely not Black. That is not a Black child. That is a what would you call? That is borderline octoroon. Because if the grandmama is damn near an admixture, then come on, man. That Pitney is white. That's a mixed white baby. Period. And I remember on my Twitter, man, I'm gonna post that one day. I remember on my Twitter one day, I posted I posted up a tweet. I think it was like when Meghan Markle just announced that she was pregnant. I said, okay, bet you any motherfucking money that child's gonna come out white as snow. And I had every swirler from fucking Timbuktu, Zimbabwe, Kenya, all these bitches was in my inbox cussing me out, saying that baby's gonna be Black and beautiful and brown. And I'm looking at these bitches like, y'all are dumb as fuck. You're looking at a whole mixed woman and she's having a baby with a recessive white man. This is not a white man with like dark features like Italian or some shit like that. This is a whole royal Brit with red hair. And you telling me that child gonna come out Black? Come on, man. This is basic genetics, babe. Like real basic genetics. I'm sorry. It's actually not. It's not basic. It's actually very complex because there is a difference between understanding the basic biology and actually doing genetics. And I've done both. So it's like that child is not that child, by my guess, and it's not by looking at the baby. It has nothing to do with looking at the child. It's the matter of its lineage. I know what his father is. And we're not even talking about the Bible. I'm looking at his father. I'm looking at his grandfather. Then I'm looking at the child's mama. Then I'm looking at the child's grandparents and a child's great grandparents, I see more European in that bloodline than I see black. Okay, you cannot tell me that a child with 3 white grandparents is as equal to me as a black woman. That you doing the most. You are doing the, and people are pushing that shit so hard. I met the light lady. Listen, she has my daddy. It's high yellow. See, high yellow does not mean that there's European in your bloodline. People, that genetics aspect, people get that confused. People are still getting that confused. Just because you have somebody that's light skinned, that doesn't mean that there's a presence of European. It actually doesn't mean that at all. Yeah, Mike Martin, yeah, quadroon or octoroon. It depends because there's that in betweenish because you gotta understand that admixture of his grandparent, of his grandmother. So, I don't even want to get into that because I know the swirlers, if they see this live stream, they see me talking about this, they're gonna get mad. But it is what it is. But yeah, I've been talking. This is definitely something I don't necessarily want to talk about this topic on this channel simply because I know that I already have my Ajia Gahzalia channel being attacked. So it's like this is gonna be like my chill out kind of channel. Exactly, some of them be 80% black also. Yeah. That shade thing, colorism was meant to fool you. The whole purpose of colorism was meant to fool you. And although the white people who created that concept of colorism didn't understand the science behind it, even for back then, they did know how to weaponize everything that they did. I'm telling you, man, like this warfare is real. The warfare on the mind is real. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the nostalgic books that I'd be reading and stuff like that. You said swirling on both sides starting to work on my motherfucking nerves. I'm not even being nice to them. I completely ignore them. Earlier today, Fundi Fee, she had this live stream where she was talking about indifference, and I believe in indifference. Like I don't like that whole hot and cold thing, love or hate. I don't like it. I like to be in the middle. I like to be indifferent. And I guess that social isolation shit. Oh yeah, that makes you indifferent than a motherfucker. Like real talk. I'm actually thinking about switching over to my other account, because hold on. I want to do more uploads on this account before I start doing more lives, since there's not enough people to really traffic over here. But I know I could make a video and then post it up on my main account to traffic the people coming over here and stuff. But I just wanted to just come on here, just whatever, just talk about this, I guess. Not this particular conversation, but I guess the topics. And then also, I'm not entirely sure, but if you're up for this, and it's just you or anybody who's going to be watching this in the future, but I'll be trying to do a 30-day challenge for next month of December for a 1K challenge. You said I like this, girl. You're the only one that's in the chat. That's why. But when there's more people, I mean, there might be some more fuckery. But I'm not going to be like some of these other panels where they just let these motherfuckers rent. No. There is going to be some type of decorum, and I'll probably be, dropping the invite and the link and stuff like that. But yeah, there's like this channel, I want to gear it to like my little funny stuff. Like I love anime, so I will be doing live streams on different anime that I'm trying to do and stuff like that. Not trying to do, I'm sorry, but been watching and stuff. And I, you know, I love talking about my books, and you know, I love talking about aliens. So most likely I'll be talking about that here. And but yeah, yeah, I might actually start a live stream on my other channel and do something similar where I'm talking about the content. But I'm not sure if you're interested in mukbangs and stuff like that. But I was thinking of doing some kind of content where, you know, I'm exploring my city and showing all the beautiful Black owned businesses, especially the Black restaurants, and just like giving y'all a tour and just showing my city and stuff like that. So if that's something that y'all interested, just let me know as well. Um, but you know, there's some stuff that I wanted to talk about, kind of like my growth story, you know, my redemption story, my, you know, journey to finding myself, and hopefully I can help somebody, because that's really all I want to do is help somebody. I be on my fuckery sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but I guess there needs to be a balance. I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna go over to my next. I know I've been on for an hour, but I don't know. I guess I'll probably do. He says peaceful. Yes, sis, because you're the only one in here. But hopefully, you know, with time, you know, I'll get more traffic over here. I'm still trying to figure out just how YouTube is, you know. Um, yeah, like I wanted to do some book reviews, maybe a couple mukbangs. Girl, I have good fashion sense, but in terms of like doing like clothing hauls and shit like that, girl, that's not my type of stuff. And makeup, girl, I don't know nothing about motherfucking makeup. Like real talk. I know nothing about that shit at all. Like I'm just I'm very tomboyish. Now I'm not saying I can't put on makeup, but girl, you know this COVID shit been going on. I have not put on like makeup all year. Now these pictures I took were this year, but it was kind of like I had to go somewhere, so I was like, okay, well, shit. Let me take a couple pictures while I'm doing it. But girl, I don't be looking that cute like that all the time. No, I be looking blissfully busted, and I love it. I love it. I don't got no man. I ain't trying to look good for nobody. Honestly, you can't see whether or not I'm fine underneath the mask. So you know, who the fuck cares? Girl, I be going outside of my house wearing mismatched socks and slides, and wearing sweatpants, and niggas still holler at me. So it's like it don't really matter. It don't matter. Like I really be going out there. You said Laura is somewhat interesting, but the white conspiracy theories I watch from the past. I mean, listen, I be in so many different people's chats in their clouds, and I don't be saying shit. And I don't have a troll account, but I have an account where, you know, I don't. It's not a channel or whatever. I use that because just in case, you know, I accidentally type something, you don't know it's me. They say you have hashtag funny stuff for people so you can be in the wave or the algorithm. Yeah, the stuff that I want to talk about for sure, it's going to be in the algorithm. Okay. I'm not with this YouTube fuckery that's going on, like the drama and the beef and all that kind of shit. Like the topics and the stuff that I want to get in on is some actual shit. Okay. You know, my dad my dad had this thing where he like is persistent on um he persistent on creating a jack of all trades kind of kid. So, you know, my dad prides himself in being multifaceted in a lot of things. So he's taught me the same thing. So hopefully this channel is where you're going to see my just, you know, non-pro black creativity. And I say non-pro black as in like, you know, it's not geared towards just pro-Black content. There's gonna be some pro-Blackness of it because that's just who I am, but there is gonna be a lot of I guess there's gonna be a lot more of my younger years before I got into this, because I went into this headstrong to the point where it became every facet of my life. But prior to this, I did other things. And those other things is actually what kept me kind of sane. So I probably need to get back into that. Oh yeah, you said you said hashtags like Bobby Brown, Tariq, and Gabby. I was gonna do a video on the Gabby Sidibe situation. But then I realized that the swirlers would be all up in my comments, and I don't feel like attacking swirling people. But then I realized that I shouldn't care. I should just do my content. I might do it actually, to be honest. I might actually do I don't know. I was actually gonna make a response video to C Boogie's live stream that he put up today about Gabby Sidibe. And I was really surprised with his response. Like, that man is like, he is so level-headed and on point. And it's scary because I'm like, a lot of these niggas are derelicts. And then out of those derelicts, you find a couple of them niggas is just, you know, on point. No, I don't mind the comments, to be honest. I like to snap at them. He said you can put on your tab when you post the videos before in the front. If you play, put the artist in the name. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Cool. Do that. I'm happy for you and try to do. Yeah. He be on his shit, and I have mad respect for his content, and I love his message about the self-improvement because I self-improved. So when, I'm listening to this man, he's talking about, just get your mind right, get your money right. You got to get the vibrations. And even when he talks about women and stuff, and I know he's speaking mainly to men, but I can honestly say to, like, for real, it was through his content that gave me the courage to not go back to my ex. Like, when I actually started following and listening to C Boogie, I was in that moment where we were just it was very tough, and we were just kind of like in that process of breaking up type of shit. And then it happened, and then I was like full in on C Boogie's like chat and stuff like that, and really like listening into his content. And there's not a lot of Black women who have that type of content. Now he talks about Michelle and stuff like that. But I guess for me, I think for me, I'm just used to a male's presence. My father was in my life. So I'm used to hearing a voice of a man, especially a man who was in the military. There's a commanding presence that they have. My father's in the military too, so there you go. But it was very refreshing, and mad respect to the dude. You know what I'm saying? And he's handsome. And he's basically like every girl's dream. Like I wouldn't get at the guy simply because I know my lane. You know how like he talks about stay in your lane? Yeah, he's out of my lane, and I'm cool with that. I can sit here and say, okay, cool, yeah, he fine, but we don't. I know that I'm not the type of woman that he would be attracted to, and he's not the type of man that I would be like I would want to be in a relationship with. But the man has some spot on content, and I have my respect for it. Him, and he's actually sponsored a few guys that I follow, and they also deliver great content. Chris Filonoi, I'm not sure if I pronounced his last name right, but Chris, very on point kid. Very, very on point. He's a whole decade younger than me. So there's very handsome kid, very smart, and he's very intelligent. And it just it brings me great joy to see that. And it's like a lot of these dudes, they'll automatically assume that because you think that they're handsome, like, oh, fuck them, and you like, it's not even like that. It's a respect. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because I grew up mainly having a lot of guy friends and not ever having sex with any of them. So I know how to like hang around dudes and not give off a thirsty vibe. He said, cut your live stream chat on this one. Why? No, I don't mind. It is what it is. This is my other channel, so it's not like the Ajia Gahzalia one. So please do a response video. I try to give our people about their content. Yeah, I don't like niggas who be crying about pussy all day. Just like I don't like when women be crying about dick all day. I'm not the finest bitch on the planet, but I can walk outside right now and ask a motherfucker to fuck me, and he would. Of any race. and that's the thing, because it's like on these damn platforms, you see these damn women. You have whole platforms trying to attract just white men. I'm just like, bruh, if you need to watch a whole like live stream and couple fucking videos just to get girls, you not meant for them. Because it's really not that difficult. It's not. And I don't be fucking with them. I don't be fucking with them. I don't be fucking with them like that. But it's not that difficult. Sometimes your energy just it don't you not vibing on the right coon frequency. That's probably what it is half the time. But whatever. But I might do a response video. I was gonna do a response video on like the fact that nerdy men don't stay in their lane. That was basically going to be my live stream. That's what I wanted my live stream to be about. That they don't stay in their lane. A lot of these nerdy dudes, they talk about they want these damn Instagram hoes, right? Loosely on the hoes part. They're not actually hoes, but whatever. They're looking for these type of women, but then they be complaining that these women don't like comics and video games with them, and they are high maintenance and shit like that. I was gonna make a live stream on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess a lot of these nerdy men, I guess they want like extremely fine bitches who like gaming. And I'm not saying it don't happen, but bruh, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. Like what they're looking for an ultra femme type of female. Like she got her nails done always. You will never see her motherfucking nail or regular nails type shit. And then she's playing video games with him, and she knows all the Marvel comics and shit. Like, bruh, I'm not saying it don't happen, but the way y'all be picturing it and formulating it online, it don't make no sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any motherfucking sense. Oh, child. I don't know. I'm thinking about going on my other channel. I don't know why I came on this one, but I've been on here for like an hour and 35 minutes. But hopefully when someone does watch this video, they'll see. I'll probably put like timestamp markers, because you know how like people have these long ass fucking ass live streams, and you're like, bro, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of the particular live stream. So that's what I'll probably do. I kind of know like the timestamps of what was talking about in this live stream. But I'll be talking to myself. This is how I talk to like myself. Like I'll talk to myself like this. It's crazy. But I'll be saying some fire shit. Not today. Not today. But I'll be saying some fire shit. And I don't be on live. So I'm just like, well, I probably need to get into it. And it's like demon time. So this is like perfect time for me to game and stuff. The plain and nerdy ones. But it's some nerdy people are super cool and nice. Yeah, listen, I'm probably like my kind of nerdy is just, I love sci-fi, I love anime, I do love comics. I love TV shows, sci-fi TV shows. I love all that kinds of shit, bro. Like, and it feels weird sometimes talking about it because in this particular space, in this Black space, because again, they'll look at my picture and they're like, well, no, surely she wouldn't be interested in that type of stuff. Like, bruh, I can go on and on about Star Trek Voyager. Like, on and on. I can go on and on about the Borg. Shit like that. Like, I was like obsessed at a time with watching Spartacus and just reading everything about all the different like revolutions that happened in like Greece and all that kinds of stuff. I love that. I love reading about history. I love reading about ancient history and reading about the different wars that happened. Like, that's the type of stuff that I like to talk about. And you get shunned for it. You get shunned for it in this community. But then the same, like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's frustrating seeing like, and like it kind of stems like from my ex as well. Like, he was like not perfect because he definitely wasn't fucking perfect, but in terms of like what I liked in a guy in terms of interest, oh my god, everything was down pat. Like, best friend type status, and it it's unfortunate that that didn't work out or whatever, and that worked. I haven't seen or spoken to him in months. And he probably fucking some other bitch right now just because that's what he wanted. But that incel fuckboy thing. He's trying to get them tallies before he can settle down. But he getting up there with the MAGTOW red pill niggas. So, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to just talk about those stuff, and like I have like a couple of like creative pieces that I want to share and stuff, and I just want to bounce that off people and just see how people take that. You know what I'm saying? I only have 26 subscribers on this channel, so I'm gonna have to try to pump it up. That's why I've been mainly I know you see me around on this channel with this channel user, because I'm just trying to traffic more people to this particular channel than my Ajia, because it's 700 people there, 700 subscribers, and I know it's not a lot, but I'm trying to get like my gaming one and this one at least 200, and we'll work from there. But I know I have to start putting more content. That's why I went live on this channel. But I don't know. I'm probably gonna go on my other channel because I'll be bored. I'd be bored as fuck, and I'm actually in the mood to like game a little bit, and I probably might do like a little basic live stream. I wasn't doing it on this one, but I was like, well, there's nobody here. I mean, except for you, sis. But I guess I wanted to put out this video because I wanted I guess people to hear my voice on this channel if you don't follow me on my other one. But yeah, most likely I will be talking about some other stuff. More of my creative side would be on this channel. So I'll probably be on this channel more than I will be on Ajia Gahzalia, because over there I'll be exhausted sometimes. People look at my picture and they know what type of person I am, right? On this one is different. So I'm sorry. It's okay. You can do long ones. Also, I enjoy this. Is different and positive. Yeah, I'm trying to do more positive content. I cannot drag, sis. I really cannot. I can. How I will drag you is I will dissect your mentality, and that's not entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be like real life. Oh my god, I've been listening to her live streams. That woman is funny as fuck. Like, savage degree. And I keep forgetting that we are New York sisters. So I keep forgetting that spunk, that fire, that's deep. And then I used to have it, but when you get mellowed out, you mellow out. You know what I'm saying? But I can get there if I'm pushed there. She just gets in there. And I know she don't got to smoke. She ain't got to drink. People got to smoke and drink just to get into that mood. She ain't got to do that. And I admired the fuck out of that for that. You said to be young, you're great. Your last rant was so cool and informative about that man and the Mexican woman Bible. Yeah, I just like, oh yeah, that yeah is, and that's why I'm moving, because I don't feel safe here at all. Um, I may not always be. Yeah, I think that's why you be in Tyler's chat. That's why I have my respect for his channel, because he challenges me to view history as a different way, and I love being challenged. I think some people are just so used to being complacent in whatever white education taught you, that you anytime that a black man wants to refute that type of knowledge, people get angry about it. So it's just like it's frustrating when people can't respect that type of dedication and to history, because I can do the same type of content, but I'm not as, I've read recent history, Black history and stuff like that, but I'm very well versed in ancient history. So most likely, like, my understanding of how the world is not based on, what happened in America 500 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's more like, because I know Taz he be clowning people who talk about Kemet and stuff, but there's some important shit when you really look at it, when you really read about ancient Kemet and all of its contributions. And it's not just Kemet. There are other places in Africa, and I know people they don't feel comfortable with the African concept, but the African influence is global. So it's not just in Africa. You have nations upon nations in Central America that have that ancient history. The Olmecs were not what we thought they were. So, when you do the research, you realize that we were everywhere. The knowledge was everywhere. We brought that knowledge everywhere we went. And it only morphed because the environment, it was different. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, just like the Pueblos here in Southwest America they have a different culture than the people, the Iroquois and even the Seminoles. And that's because of their environment. You know what I'm saying? So, but the ideology is still the same. It's just applied differently. So when you find the root of where these ideologies come from, you can know that a lot of these ideologies stemmed from Africa. And I know a lot of people don't like the whole concept of coming out of Africa, but the knowledge came out of there. And so did the bloodline. Multiple times. The Black people that was here on this side of the planet came from Africa. They just came before slavery. And so the genetics is different over the years. So when you take an account of all those different, I can go in on this for hours. This is something that I love talking about. I love talking about ancient history. I love talking about world civilizations. I love talking about how we have inspired, and I say we as in every Black person on this planet have inspired this planet. Most likely on this channel and on my other one, I'll be talking more about like how in the end, Black people are going to have to reclaim this planet. But there's going to be some heavy realizations that we got to go through first before we ever do that, before we can ever take that massive leap in this evolution. Oh, you're saying, which one? LOL content creator. I like fuckery. I do little shits like that, but it's cool. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I skipped one. They love calling Black women big and fat, but I curse them out. I said I still get chosen, and it's how confidence in my time I do doing. They're bitter. They're bitter as fuck. Extremely bitter. It's common to see a bitter Black woman. It's obvious. But the moment you see a bitter Black man, that shit's weird. I'm especially not used to that either, because a lot of these dudes, They like to have this conversation about the child support and the baby mama drama. My father went through all of that and he overcame. So I never really saw bitterness. So talking to these dudes about it, it's like, God damn, y'all are just angry. And y'all really don't want, honestly, I don't think they even love their kids. I really don't. Because if my dad was able to fight for me back in the 90s, these motherfuckers can too. Like, I think it's a lot easier now than it was back then. So I don't know what the fuck their problem is. Right, college was halfway boring. The best learning I've learned was pro-biology in books and in the class I took in this time. Now I want to speak on it. Yeah, it's yeah, I learned most of like what Taz and I are saying now. I I don't like to I don't like to verse myself in politics necessarily, simply because I was raised Republican. So it's an awkward conversation because my ideologies are still considered conservative, but I do not consider my politics to be Republican anymore. But I'm not a Democrat. So it's like I'm in this mindset where I wish Black people claim their own political party that is not Republican or Democrat. But we're not there yet. So if I was to suggest something like that, motherfuckers would be down my throat because I personally, I know I'm not well versed enough in politics for me to even make those type of statements. So I usually like to stay in my lane, and hopefully on this channel and my other channel, I'll be probably asking those questions to people who are more versed in that type of topic. So, but yeah, let me see. Well, we do come from there. I don't know, we are always everywhere. And all the ways Sim teaches me. And I love Sarasetti. Oh my God. Sarasetti. That's my nigga right there, bro. Real talk. Like, I think this teaching concept of being very boring and that shit is weak. That's Americanized white standard of way of learning. The way Taz delivers his content, the way Nyla delivers her content, the way Cynthia delivers her content, Irene Yvette. And I'm just saying these names because I have mad respect for these people because of the way they deliver their content, whether controversial or not. It's the deliverance that I have mad respect for. As someone who's a writer and an intellectual, I can appreciate that. And I love China and Chris. I love them. Before even China and Chris, it was just China, and I love China. You know what I'm saying? And I know that it's tough out here for her, and she's getting her Omni Africa popping. I be listening. I drop my little like, and I be listening because I know I don't have the books and stuff, so I don't want to necessarily, disrupt, the dialogue and stuff. So I be listening, and I have my respect for what she does. And it's just like this jealousy thing that's happening in the YouTube streets. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. I have respect for people's content that you wouldn't even think that I would listen to their content, but I listen to them. And it's just like, I believe that there is good in people if they want to see it. But it's easy to embrace fuckery. It really is. Yeah, he's been doing it for a minute. Because he said he was learned by who? Ben Yakum when he was alive? When he was young? Because I remember when I first I know my account says that I was, I know that my account on my other ones, it said that I've been on YouTube since 2015, but I've been watching YouTube much longer than that. And I remember when Seti was on here, when his first couple channels before they got taken down, when he was walking into museums and telling white folk motherfucker, this, and oh man, I love that shit. This is when I just started learning all that information and stuff. So, oh man, it was just, I love learning. And it's weird how people have rhetorics and not material, not, reading material. Because most of the concepts, most of the topics that I talk about on my main channel, these are not necessarily opinions, but actual like scholastic reads that, you know, I don't necessarily like refer these books, and I probably need to start referring them. I'm going to start being a little bit, I'm going to be a lot more professional nowadays. And the only reason why I came on live is because I need to start getting used to being on live. But yeah, I am kind of shy, so whatever. I've been doing this also good on Facebook, also in the reading group. I need to catch up. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yes, I love China. Yeah, I'm telling you, money is the reason why I haven't put a lot of effort in my content, because you know you be stressing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, okay, well, if I'm stressing, the least I can do is vent and put some content out there and just engage. I have to stop the social isolation thing. It's really damaging my psyche. So I'm gonna have to get out of that. But I'm gonna switch over to my other account. I don't know if you might be over there. Yes, I had some of Steady State CDs and books, and I think he followed Garvey. Oh yeah, of course. You know, I know that there's talk. You know, Garvey could be a. I understand the purpose of what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? I love Khalid Muhammad. I remember the first time I heard that man speak, and it was just like a light bulb went off in my head. But I'm gonna see. I know it's demon time. You know, motherfuckers are crazy out here. But I don't know if people will be on live right now. But I know I have more people on my other channel, so I'll probably be getting off of this one, and I'll go on my other one like within like the next 5 minutes. But thanks for coming through, sis. You know, I know I've been rambling and stuff like that, but I just wanted to get, I guess, get my feet in the water. Is that the terminology? Because I want to do more live streams. I am going to do that 30-day challenge next month. So, you know, be prepared. Yeah, those are real men. I'm not gonna lie. If I can get a man that you know, oh man, a dude who's intellectual like Seti, and he got the rawness like Khalid Muhammad, and he's good looking. Because I have different like. I'm not like some of these bitches where like, oh, I need a man that looks just like he got to be Michael B. Jordan. Like, nah. There's like black men. This is why I love black men. Black men are there. There's so many variations of fineness that it's so. That's why it's so difficult for me sometimes, because I'm just like, I'm not saying all y'all fine, but the dudes that I like different types of dudes. Like there are certain light skinned dudes that I love. Now I have a preference for dark skinned dudes, but I love light skinned men. I love dark skinned men. I love brown skinned men. I like red, whatever these damn little terminologies these motherfuckers got, red bone, light skin, all that. I don't care. If you're melanoid and you're fine and you have a fucking brain and you love your people, I love you, period. Right? And you have some sense of values and principles about you, and you know how to handle yourself, and you treat me like a queen, because I can treat a nigga like a king. Trust, okay? I have fucking receipts of how I be taking care of my man. So the problem is, it's hard to get these dudes on the same level. So I'm gonna switch over to my other account. Okay, I will follow you. Okay, I'm trying to get that avatar. Facts. Facts. Exactly. I always wanted a man like Sadie or Malcolm, or whoever is smart and kind to me, dressing or mean to me. I'm taking a break. Oh, I'm sorry, sis. I know the colorism thing is a little hard. I understand. I really do understand that. I've actually dealt with a few of that. The difference is like, you know, how, you know, I see that a lot of dark skinned women have a very quick response to it. And I understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like I've experienced some of that, and I don't I personally don't consider myself to be dark skinned enough to be dark skinned, but I'm a darker brown skin. That's for sure, right? Don't let that picture fool you. I'm maybe like a shade and a half darker than that. That's like a little pretty, hazy filter or whatever. But like, I'm actually a little bit more red. That makes me extremely brown, but I'm actually a little bit more red in the face. But like, it's hard, and I really be feeling for my dark skinned sisters, man. But the dark skinned sisters that I know, they're beautiful. Like features, like skin is dark, but their skin is clear. Like mama's is beautiful. So like the colorism thing, I never quite understood how that worked, to be honest, because I never associated dark skin with you being ugly. Never. Although like the colorism is deep in the Jamaican culture, because I never quite understood it, it never made sense. And it still doesn't make any sense to me. Because I know a dude, he's extremely attractive and he's light as fuck. But he's so attractive. I was messing around with this one dude. He was from Dominica, light skin as a motherfucker with bright green eyes, but he was black. He was black, but he was light as fuck with green eyes. But I wasn't attracted to him because he was a light skinned man with light green eyes. Like that was not what attracted me to him. It was not that superficiality. It was literally like, well, I mean, he looks good in his phenotype. You know what I'm saying? It suited him, and it suited his personality. Like he ain't shit. This nigga ain't shit. This man ain't shit. Now that I'm looking back, when you're young, and I was I'm sheltered. So he was all my first crazy woman experiences. I experienced it with this man. So it was like, you know, seeing a dude like him, and he was very pro-black, very hardcore, very hardcore. And so he kind of like brought that also out of me. And it was very interesting to see that coming out of a light-skinned man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the man that I end up falling in love with, the man of my dreams, is dark as night. So, I love all shades as long as you're melanated. Like, I don't, I have a preference, but that's not going to stop me from loving on a light skinned man. Like, there is some dudes who will, like, yeah, you're fine for a dark skinned girl, but I won't date you simply because, and that logic makes no sense to me. None. None whatsoever. Cause I'm like, if you fine as fuck and you dark skin, bitch, I'm having you. If you fine as fuck and you light skin, bitch, I'm having you. Bitch, if you red bone or whatever these them other terms that y'all got going on, bitch, I'm having you. Period. Like, yeah, like I'm kind of scared of the Michael Ealy times and the Howard. Like, okay, so I actually had a super huge crush on a dude who looked like Terrence Howard when he was younger. Gorgeous. Light skin with like light hazel eyes and all that kind of stuff. Gorgeous. Dude was a fuck boy. And of course I met him in church. So like that's why I have when it comes to liking certain kind of guys, I actually do not go after the fine ass niggas. I don't. Now I don't go after the ugly dudes either. I don't. I be going after dudes who are like me. I listen. I know motherfuckers will be like, oh no, you're tired. Hi, baby. What's going on? I only like I consider myself maybe like a 6 or a 7 at best. On a good day, 7.5. Right? I date men around that range. But a lot of dudes, they know that they looking like a 6 and a 7, but bitch, you want a fucking 11, but you have a personality of a 2. Oh, baby, you need to take a couple. You need to go run a couple miles, baby. Reevaluate your mind. They say exactly all shades they all. Oh, listen. Idris Elba looks like my uncle when he was 20. I swear to God. I remember the first time when I saw Idris Elba on film, I thought that was my uncle. I was like, bro, how did my uncle be on a fucking movie? Because they look alike when they're like at that age. Like my uncle's old now, but when he was like 30, oh yeah, they looked alike. Head shake, swagger, walk, shade, all that shit. Like I have some pretty damn good looking black men in my family. So like I guess that nature versus nurture thing, that's just real though. No, real talk. No, it's real. But man, like I don't know that colorism shit though. I can never quite understand it. Um, I know for a fact though, I'm marrying and procreating with a dark skinned man. That's for sure. I want my babies to be nice and brown, just like me. I know they may come out light skinned. I have no problem with that either. But I know for a fact that you know, I guess all the times looking at my ex and seeing how radiant his dark skin is, and just like, because he's maybe like 2 shades darker than me, and it's like a beautiful shade. Like I'll be looking at him. I'll be looking at him, and he's like I don't like saying half Jamaican because that doesn't make any sense. But his mother is Ados, and his father is of Jamaican descent. His father's Jamaican, and the like whatever like when I look at his father and I look at his mom, he he completely embraced the Jamaican aspect of his father. And it's just it's so beautiful. He ain't shit, but that man is beautiful. And that's why it's like actually have no issues picking good looking dudes. I think it's the mentality that I have an issue with. Like I need to start vetting niggas mentality better. But yes, honey, Idris got that. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yeah, listen. When I found out he was marrying a young, beautiful black woman, I was crying inside, but also happy because he could have easily found himself a white bitch, like real talk, but he didn't. He got himself a sister, and that made my heart swell. That really made my heart swell, and I'm really happy that he did. Yes, fine men drive you crazy. I don't be dealing with fine niggas, bro. I really don't. Like I actually have this dude. He's talking to me. This man is fine as hell. Neat locks all the way down to his pecs. He does MMA, and dudes be thinking that just because I'm a little chubby and stuff like that I can't get me a nigga who's in shape. I hate these dudes sometimes. They really think that these motherfuckers don't be checking for thicker women. I've never really had an issue finding. It's just my attention span is usually very short, and I can only like talk to one nigga at a time because I don't like that whole. I can't do hypergamy. I can't. I tried and I feel really bad. Yes, I will always be crying out and all the black. Child, I don't be fucking with fine ass dudes, bro. I don't. I don't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like if a dude that looked like, and I hate dropping his name, but you know who I'm talking about. If dude like who the man that we were talking about earlier, where we were talking about his live stream earlier, if he was to ever come at me, I would turn him down simply because he's too fucking fine. Period. Like I can't. I listen. Me dealing with a fine dude, I know bitch is gonna be looking, and I know he's gonna be committed to me, but that just gonna prompt me to want to go kill somebody, and I don't got that type of time. I really don't. Like I'd be humbling myself by just getting me a man that is, he's fine to me, but he's not like fine to majority of the bitches. I'm not trying to check. See, a lot of these dudes get confused. Alpha women, and I'll proudly step aside and say I'm not an alpha woman because I'm not. Alpha women, they want the dude that all the bitches want. I don't. I don't. I want the dude who is good looking, but not every fucking woman wants that man. He looks good and he's perfect in my eyes. That's the type of dude that I want. I'm sick and tired of finding the nigga that every fucking bitch want. Listen, I'm not trying to cut nobody hands off. Period. I know how y'all black American girls do it. You know, you shooting people, bitch. I'm a Jamaican. I have a machete. I will chop your fuck. I don't have a machete. Not on me right now, but I will chop your head off. Period. Me too. I'm thinking. I know. I can keep working out. I spend not back money in that. If I can get me a white man that can send me a couple $100 a motherfucking week, that'd be great. I'll take their motherfucking money. I won't fuck them, but I'll take their money. You can do a lot with a nigga who makes $70,000. You can do a lot with a man who makes 70K. These, man, listen, I don't even want to get too deep into it on this channel, bro. I would probably want to do that on my main channel because that's a real conversation that we need to have. I understand that some women have these standards, and I'm not shaming them for it. Yes, that's my cat. She's running on the wall. Shit, oh, crazy ass. I can't practice hypergamy, sis. I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I tried it like when I just lost like the 90 pounds and I was feeling myself and all that kinds of shit. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I can do this shit too. Girl, I went out there, I went on one date and I was off the market. So it was like it made no motherfucking sense. It made no sense to me. But I'm actually gonna go back. I'm gonna go on my other live stream. So like meet me over there, sis. So we're gonna close this live stream. Whoever's watching this live in the future, thank you for viewing. I will be on this channel a little bit more often. I'll be trying to do more uploads on my Ajia Gahzalia, but I will be on this channel with my other creativity content. I mean, all 65K or fair margin. You was off the market. I still consider myself off the market. That's why it's kind of weird that these dudes keep hitting on me, and they think that because I'm being nice to them that I'm trying to get like I don't want you, fam. I don't want nobody right now, to be honest. Like I appreciate the compliments, I guess. Thank you. But you know, as far as like, hey, you know, let's that chat talk and like bruh, I don't got time for none of that shit. I really don't. Like, I know people be talking about, oh, your eggs, your time is ticking. Like, bruh, you know how difficult it is to have social anxiety, be socially awkward, and then trying to be social with niggas. That's stressful. Like, yeah, it's stressful. But anyway, I'm gonna close this out. We're gonna go over to my other channel. I know I've been on here for 2 hours, but I'm not tired. And COVID is happening, so. But thanks, girl, for rolling through. If you want to come over to my other channel, I'm gonna be there in like 2-3 minutes. If not, you know, you have a great night. I'm most likely I'm gonna be rambling there too, but because I do have other content that I wanted to talk about, like the lineups and that I wanted to talk about over on my other channel. So if you wanted to go over there, sis, I'll see you there. If not, you have a great night, or I'll see you tomorrow because I might go live, not tomorrow, but later today. I might go live today. Probably I'll do a response live stream to what C Boogie was talking about with my own side commentary about the whole nerdism. Because we have to, sorry, but I'm sorry push. I know he's talking about hoes and shit, but we're gonna push the nerdy girls out there in the forefront, okay? Period. It's about to be a nerd explosion. Nerds is about to take over. Fuck you hoes. It's nerd life for life. All right? All right. I'll see you later, okay?